When you hear the word Attica, what comes to mind? Because in my mind, Attica and Sing Sing, based off of pop culture, is where the worst of the worst, the most hardened criminals could possibly go. It is the most maximum security prison in the New York State prison system, right? There's a few others, but Attica, in my mind, is the one, right? Now, as I got ready to write this series up, I read the book Blood in the Water by Heather Ann Thompson. I've also read a lot of current prison information around Attica, like from the Fortune Society, and I've learned that the majority of these men, especially in the 1960s and 70s, were not the super hardened criminals that I thought they were, right? We're going to talk about these prisoners and how a lot of them were there for parole violations, right? The vast majority of this prison population are Black Americans and Puerto Ricans, right? So about 60% of the prisoners are going to be Black American men. A large swath of that last 40% are going to be Puerto Rican men. The entire staff, the doctors, the janitors, the correctional officers, all the way through the administration, all the way up to Nelson A. Rockefeller, the governor at the time, they're all white. Now, depending on the source you read, there might be one correctional officer, one who speaks Spanish. One. Now, if you get a letter written to you in Spanish, they just throw it out, right? If you get a letter written to you from a sweetheart, from your romantic partner, it also gets thrown out. The goal is to isolate. Now, the catch about all of this is the thing that makes everything worse about the actual interior prison experience is the fact that if you get a job, the fact that if you get paroled, your time is up, you're counting the days down to that time that you get to leave. If you have parole and you do not have a job, you can't fucking leave. I'll say it again. Your parole comes up, you do not have a job that will allow you to work as a parolee, you can't leave. So smash that on top of the racial epithets that are thrown at you every day, the people who will not speak to you in the language that you know and you understand, the violence at the hands of these white correctional officers. And there's violence to this day, by the way, from the Fortune Society as recently as 2015. Our state prison system in New York is about 50%. The prisoners are about 50% Black Americans, where the state's population is about 14% Black Americans. And that is not because of criminality. That's not because they're doing more crimes. It is because the system is set up against them. And it always has been, right? It always has been. So you smash getting into these 4x6 cells, and you're there for 14 to 16 hours per day, right? You've got the racial violence, you've got racial epithets, you've got people who don't talk to you in your own language. You get one shower a week, which is actually like a bucket of water. You get one roll of toilet paper for the entire month, right? You get thrown in solitary confinement for laughing or talking to another prisoner. There is no rhyme or reason to it. Solitary confinement in 2025 for the majority of the world is literally outlawed because it is cruel and unusual punishment. Not in the United States, though. Not yet. We haven't gotten there. But I mean, these people are getting put in the box, is what they call it, for no fucking reason. And on top of all of that, it does not matter if you serve your time, because if you don't have a job, you can't fucking leave. The doctors on site, terrible, fucking horrific. Just literally prisoner's hand is smashed to the point that they like literally can't move it, and the doctor tells them to call another doctor. They get one phone call a week. How could they possibly call another doctor or call people to get a job? And again, it is packed to the fucking gills. 2,200 people in a building that was meant for 1,600 people. You have teenagers there. You do have these hardened criminals, but a lot of people are there for like a DUI or a parole violation or driving without a license. It's fucking insane. How could you possibly treat people this way and not expect them to demand something, right? Demand something better. And again, at this moment in time, something I left off of that timeline is Frank Serpico whistleblowing on the NYPD to the New York Times about how corrupt it is, about how much money these police officers are taking, and about how it literally goes all the way to the fucking top. These men were treated so poorly and given no fucking hope. How could you possibly imagine that it is okay to treat people that way? How could you possibly be angry when they stand up and they demand more? Because you're not treating them like human beings. I'm going to talk about the people in charge next, including the superintendent, the commissioner of the prison system in New York. He's a new guy at this moment in time. His name is Russell Oswald, and we are going to talk about Nelson A. Rockefeller. Follow along. This is an important moment in history.